Hello, it's the 2nd of February 2015, and I just had a few headlines that I wanted to talk to y'all about this morning anyway. The headlines are happening so fast that I can't hardly keep up with them. This one is from an intercepted Russian bomber was carrying a nuclear missile over the channel. A nuclear missile. Then there was a bloodbath in Maiduguri where the Nigerian army attacked Boko Haram. There was even some reports of villagers forming and fighting back against them. Um, this is a picture of the suicide attack where the workers are evacuating injured persons. But the insurgents were stopped from taking over the city by use, otherwise known as the civilian JTF. We're trying to verify these reports. It's very hard. We've been told, and this is an exact quote, yes, this is true, but there are some mix-ups with the report. So we're trying to verify this. Here's another article that says Boko Haram is just as vicious as ISIS. So why does the Islamic State get all the headlines? Um, America is obsessed with ISIS right now, and rightly so. I'm glad they're reporting on it. I just wish they would more understand what they're about. 91% sees the terrorist group as a threat to the vital interests of the United States, and they're here. They have sleeper cells here. We know that. Um, the African Islamists of Boko Haram are just as deadly. And in fact, they're all tied together. This article doesn't point that out, but we have pointed that out several times. From Iran to the east coast of Africa, or the west coast of Africa, I mean. Here's a graph that shows how deadly Boko Haram has been. Over 6,700 deaths, between 6,700 and 13,000 since January of 2014, and ISIS has been responsible for 4 to 9,000 deaths since January of 2014. And you can clearly see the distinction between who's, who's more lethal. Even the Twitter mentions are more about ISIS than it is about Boko Haram. Boko Haram is about one-third the size of the Islamic State, but has displaced 1.5 million Nigerians, nearly as many as the 1.8 million Iraqis displaced by the Islamic State. And that's only in Iraq. Look at Syria, and you can't hardly get numbers from there because it's so hard. This one here says that Chad forces have bombed key positions in Nigerian towns. And look at their equipment. I think to me it looks a little bit outdated, but they're trying anyway. It's just that I gotta ask myself, or I want to ask the world, who do they know what they're bombing over there? Because there's reports that say they don't. Anyway, here's another one. Jordan vows to do all it can to secure the release of their pilot captured by ISIS after a video was released appearing to show the beheading of the second Japanese hostage. My heart goes out to Kenji Goto's family and to Japan. They say they will never forgive ISIS for what they've done, and I can understand why. Jordan is willing to exchange an Iraqi prisoner for his safe return. But they've also been reported as saying if their pilot is killed, they will kill every person in prison that is connected to ISIS. I don't know. Um, I ask God every day to shed His mercy over the world, but we know what time it is. We know the times that we're in. It's just very sad. And like my dad used to say, it's time to stay prayed up, packed up, and ready to go.